Good afternoon, Periscope. How you doing? This is Belina. Today we're talking about it's all about your attitude. Attitude plays a very important part in loving yourself and this journey to getting fit and getting healthy and the person that you are. Because you can be the prettiest thing or think that you're the prettiest thing walking, and your attitude can be the funkiest. So what happens is it makes you ugly. Attitude comes from within, and I don't want negative attitudes around me. I refuse to have negative attitudes around me because, again, negative people draw negative people. So if you wake up in the morning and you have this positive attitude that you got your goals going, you're going to set some goals, you're going to meet those goals, and you bump into a negative person that's all like, oh my God, the children are acting up, the husband is acting up, my job, like, listen, be quiet, I'm going to go pray for you, but that attitude, you got to take the attitude someplace else. You cannot bring the negative attitude into my circle. It's all about your attitude. And when you learn to love yourself, what happens is you get this attitude like nobody's business. You get this attitude like, not that you're better than people, but you got this kind of attitude that's positive. You got this attitude that you can help somebody else out. You got this attitude that you can support people and not have to be patted on your back. You get this kind of attitude that your head don't get big, but it's still about the attitude. Attitude is important. Attitude depends. Your attitude depends on the person within you, and the only way you're going to get a positive attitude, again, is by loving yourself. Okay, you need to have positive people, places, and things around you. You have to be the one to be able to say whether I'm going to allow this in my circle or I'm going to allow that in my circle. Am I going to allow this person in my circle or I'm going to allow that person in my circle? You have the right to start cutting people off once you learn how to love yourself. Because see, what happens is when you begin to love yourself and your attitude changes and you start to think better of yourself, you start to think positive about yourself, you start thinking that I don't care what you say because I already know who I am. You start knowing who you are and start standing up for yourself, you're going to lose friends. And if you lose those friends, guess what? They was never your friends from the beginning. Because those people that are your friends, they're going to support you when you're doing bad and when you're doing good. And when you have the kind of friends that will lift you up when you're down and out, those are the friends you want to keep. When you have those kind of friends that's going to support you when you're right and when you're wrong, those are the friends you need to keep. When you have those kind of friends that you could be drunken in Cooter Brown, falling out all over the place, they will pick you up, make sure you either get to your place safely or they're going to take you into their place and make sure you're okay. And the next morning, they're going to still make sure that you're okay and make sure that you get home safely if you're in their place. Your attitude tells a lot about you. Not that if you don't smile, like I don't smile all the time, but I actually say that my bark is worse than my bite. I stand my ground and I'm going to defend myself. But me not smiling, does that make me a nasty person? Sometimes you just have to watch out, and make sure you're smiling at what you need to smile, and it's okay to smile at people. It's okay to say good morning and smile at somebody. But then some days you don't feel like smiling. That don't make you a bad person. That don't give you a bad attitude. That means that that day you just don't feel like smiling. People take the outward appearance and they start judging you by what they see on the outside, and they don't even get to know your inside. Because it all starts with the heart. Like I said, you're going to be the most gorgeous person, the handsomest man, the prettiest girl. But if your attitude sucks, it makes you ugly. I tell my daughter that all the time. Attitude is key. But the only way you're going to get a positive attitude is when you start to learn to love yourself. When you start to learn to respect yourself. When you start to say enough is enough, I'm not having it anymore. I'm not going to take that. I'm not going to take this, and I'm not going to take that neither anymore. I'm going to live life on my terms. I'm going to live life because I want to be happy. I'm going to live life because I'm supposed to be happy and because I deserve to be happy. And that's where the attitude comes into play. So it's all about your attitude, people. You got to get yourself together. You got to want a positive attitude. Everything can't be negative all the time. You got to find a silver cloud in a silver cloud somewhere at the end of the rainbow. It's got to be something. You got to be able to find light at the end of every tunnel. Every day is not going to be perfect, but you still can have a positive attitude. Every day is not going to be perfect, but you still can have a positive attitude. Your attitude speaks volumes about who you are. Like I said, I don't have all the answers. I don't profess to have all the answers. All I know is if loving me is wrong, I will never be right. If being in love with me is wrong, I will never be right. Not that I dance to the beat of my own music. I'm grown, I can do what I want to do. But what happens is when you love yourself, you learn to respect other people because you respect yourself. When you love yourself, you learn to appreciate others because you appreciate yourself. And that's where your attitude comes in at. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, you all who follow me. Good afternoon right now. Attitude. What is your attitude like? Is it positive? Is it negative? Do you draw negativity to yourself? Are you fronting with your attitude? Out in public, you got this upbeat attitude. Then behind closed doors, you got this old nasty stank attitude. Stop it. Because your attitude will show eventually. It's all about the attitude. It's all about being positive. Attitude is the key. If you don't know how to get a positive attitude, go talk to God. If you don't know how to love yourself, go talk to God. If you are grown and you're watching this and you don't know how to respect yourself, you really need to go talk to God. Everything I can't give you, I can't. If I could pull it out the sky and give it to you, I would. But some things I had to learn on my own. And me with a positive attitude, I didn't learn until I was 35 years old because I didn't learn how to love myself until I was 35 years old. I'm going to keep on talking about that. I'm not ashamed to say I was 35 years old when I learned how to love myself. I'm not ashamed to say I was 35 years old once I learned how to get a positive attitude and stop looking at everything so negative. But when you grow up in a world that's supposed to be positive, but everything is so negative and everything is so black and gloom and everything, that's all you think. If we want our neighborhoods to get right, we got to get right. If we want our children to get right, we got to get right. If we want to take the hood and change it into a neighborhood, we got to get right. It starts with us and our attitudes. Stand up for somebody. Stand and fill in the gaps for somebody. Become big brother. Become big sister. See, when people go into cyberspace and post all their business, dogging out their boyfriends, their husbands, their girlfriends, and their wives, they letting big brother know their business. That's a very nasty attitude to have. That's a nasty attitude. That's a tearing down spirit attitude. We don't want them attitudes around us. We're here to build up, not tear down. The community has to come back, and the only way it's going to come back is with our attitudes. We got to start showing positivity when we walk the streets. We got to start showing accountability when we walk the streets. If we're going to give our word to be somewhere, we got to be there. It's all about our attitude. It's not about who can bring the most people or who can sell the most dinners or who can fry the best fish. It's about everybody getting together, becoming one, and becoming a positive attitude and taking back our communities and taking back our children with our attitudes. If you see a very nasty child with a very nasty disposition, go follow them home, knock on their door, and a nasty person going to open up the door. I just believe that. I just believe that. Attitude starts from within, but if you're not taught that as a child, somehow, somewhere you need to learn that. And you're never too old to learn to get a better attitude. Periscope family is all about attitude today. What you're going to do to get a positive attitude today. It's all about your attitude. It's all about the way you walk, the way you talk. It's all about your attitude. You ain't got to be the smartest person in the room, but if you bring the best attitude, you will draw people to you. It's all about your attitude. It's not about the way you dress, the biggest hat you wear. It's about your attitude. Because you had the biggest hat on and the flyest church lady dress, that don't mean that you're a good Christian. No. Just because you stand in the parking space don't mean you're a car. No. It's about your attitude. It's about you being yourself and being true to who you. Periscope family, have a God great day on purpose. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.